Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome, my fellow Virgos. Today, we are going to do a reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Some of you are intuitively guided. You don't know if you have Virgo in your chart. You just trusted your intuition. Sometimes a video, you'll pass it, something calls you back to it. That's your spirit guides. That means that there's messages in here for you. But that can relate to any reading, anybody's reading. Like something keeps pulling you back. Just trust that. Um, you could certainly be in love with a Virgo. I'm in love with a Virgo, platonically, romantically. Mine is romantically. It's funny. I think that's the first time I've said that. Um, but really, whatever brought you to the reading, welcome. This is going to be your February 2025 reading. Though I do want you to also remember that time is fluid. I feel like I'm saying the wrong word when I say that. I don't know why. Um, and again, and that's because, again, a reading will find you, you find it really in divine timing. So, because I read through my guides, and many of you know this, but those that are new, I would take just a moment and just kind of calm your energy and let go of any, worry or anything and like it has to be this way. Be more open to like what the guidance is giving us. Again, through my spiritual team that's connected to your spiritual team. I'm just an open vessel for you. I was going to say today I am a Virgo, but I am a Virgo. By the way, I'm a Virgo sun. September 13th. Sam is a Virgo, right on that cusp of Leo, August 23rd. And we are now in union, so two Virgos, and he's got a Virgo moon. Deep, deep, I'm telling you, deep. Okay, anyways, so we're going to use a few different decks. We're going to use Mother Mary for her words of wisdom. We shall use the Gilded Tarot to go, well, to clarify or to go deeper. We will use the Romance Angels if love comes out. Another deck that I'm slowly introducing into our readings is called the Clarifying Love Situations. And on each side, well, not each side, but whether it comes out upright or reverse, there's a message on both sides. Consumed, extinguish doubt by having open communication. Okay, not necessarily saying that's our card, but I always feel like if I pick it up, then there's a reason I picked it up. I want you to know I brought in the Moldavite, which is a crystal over 15 million years old. I did a little video about this, and I've been really testing it. I already feel like my intuition is wide open, but I do feel like it's working even more. So I always bring it into our readings now, and I'm going to set it right on the laptop, just letting it be part of the reading. It's wisdom of 15 million years. For your main spread, I am going to use the Light Seers, and we will use the major arcanas as bullet points. But they, if you've watched any of the other readings, you know that sometimes they can tell quite a story on their own, but everything will relate back, just so you know that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the lid down. And I don't want to bring it too far down. Oh, there we go. All right. So we're going to start with Mother Mary. It's a great time, again, to clear your mind. Ask your guides to send you signs of confirmation. I say weird words all the time. And I've learned to trust that a lot of times those are your words between you and your guides. So I tell you everything I receive, even if it doesn't make sense to me. All right, let's start with Mother Mary. Her beautiful words of wisdom for my fellow Virgos. So we have officially opened up this universal year nine. It is a year of the Hermit, our major arcana. It is the final push of a 9 year cycle. This year will end that 9 year cycle. And then next year we start with the magician's energy. Powerful. So this year really is about cleaning house, cleaning out the cobwebs, what's got to go, what can stay, what is getting in my way, what's stopping me from creating my own dreams. Is love working out? And if it's not, how much time do I want to give? So those are the kind of questions you want to ask yourself, but try to come from like, because if you think of the hermit seeking spirituality, the hermit is a wise old soul. I feel like the hermit has lived the life path of the one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. And I know I am, and I feel many of you are old souls. It means you have a lot of wisdom. You don't know that until you need it. It's that kind of energy that comes out where it's like, oh, I didn't know I was that strong. Then you find out you are. All right. Mother Mary says, trust. Trust. I know that God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. Trust. Interesting, because if there's a prayer being answered or prayers, there may be some human action that needs to follow. We'll see. I'm just feeling that. But, what I love about this energy is it lets you know that your whole spiritual team, including God, they know what's going on in your life and they want to help. They want to guide you. They want to help guide you. So trust. Number one, I feel like trust your intuition. I may take another Mother Mary at the end of the reading. We'll see if we need it or not. All right, let's bring in the major arcanas. Take one final drink of coffee. Or kind of chug it. Okay, let me just set that aside. Give them a shuffle. A cut. And let's begin the tarot portion. Virgo. First card is the Lovers. It is the card of Gemini. It's also ruled by Mercury, by the way, as so are we. Um, the Lovers is the meaning of the card is ahead of a hard decision. Can certainly be what it means with trust here. You know, for some of you, I feel like it may be an answered prayer. I notice the influence of Cupid. There's no dark influence over this energy. And why I say that is because sometimes when you see the Devil's card, you'll see the Lovers also, but they're being influenced with dark energy. This is the light, so we'll see. Look at this. The Hangman. I have a feeling this is like the fourth time I have seen this. However, you probably heard me say this in other readings. I absolutely feel that there will be a lot of spiritual awakenings this year, even those who aren't ready for it. And they may not understand it. It could feel uncomfortable. But for those of us who do understand it, hello. I feel like if, let's just say you've been putting in effort towards yourself. I feel like the Awakened Hangman is truth, my own truth. He is looking right at the lovers. So I feel like one of these lovers has awakened, so to speak. What else do we have? Well, hello, star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And this is about manifesting them. It starts with your intentions, your prayers, your affirmations, that human action, but really kind of coming from a spiritual sense. But it is about, again, manifesting those dreams into your physical world. But I feel like you do have to believe, you do have to trust. Sometimes you do have to let go of control because it can certainly be an answered prayer, but it may be answered differently than you might have expected. It may be better than. Let's take one more shuffle. Also, I don't know if I said it, but also a card of Aquarius. We have the Fool. So we are on a new adventure. I think we'll leave it there. The Fool is mirroring the Lovers. It is like someone's freeing themselves, maybe from a previous relationship. Though I do feel for some, if this has anything to do with love, I do feel for some you may be single. And I'm hoping this is bringing you in that perfect partner. The Fool's about taking that leap of faith, and the Fool's about putting the past in the past. It's free and clear. Free and clear. Maybe that's what some of you were wishing and hoping for. Again, the hangman in the awakened state. Remember when it's the other way, which would be the upright way? The hangman is seeking wisdom to use on this, he's seeking spiritual wisdom to use on this physical plane. Well, that's kind of what Mother Mary brings out, right? I know that God, in his infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. I feel like the reason some of these prayers are being answered is because you're in this awakened state. And maybe I'm wishing someone else would wake up, so to speak. All right, let's bring in the light seers. You know, again, the fool is looking at the star is looking at the fool. The hangman, person in the hangman who is in the awakened state, is looking at the lovers. The lovers are looking at each other with Cupid's influence. So the star, the wish, is for a new beginning. And I know it may not be for everyone, but a new beginning that includes a dream, a wish. But I feel like it is you that then has to take a leap of faith. It's like that prayer is answered. And then here's that human action I was talking about. Again, putting the past in the past. And I won't say that this, I mean, right now it does look like love. Um, but I have a feeling other things will come up. But what I was going to say, um, putting the past in the past means really that what you've done, just like the hangman, I've extracted the wisdom of my experiences. And now they really are my power. Your wisdom, your courage. You don't lose that. Once you gain it, you don't lose it. All right. So, anyway. Oh, look what's on the bottom of the deck. The lovers. Interesting. We'll see if it makes its way out. All right. If I can pick them up. All right. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, I call it your tree of life. These are your seeds that were planted. If we plant no seeds, we have no harvest. And we're all about the harvest as a Virgo. This talks about patience. And the reason why you need patience is, it feels like one of these seeds is also one of your wishes coming to fruition, but it's at the right time. That's why I often relate it to like an apple tree. Like I'm not going to pick an apple before it's ripe, but something feels like it's coming ripe. Seven is also a very spiritual number. So for some of you, this could talk about seeds that were planted before you even came into this lifetime. Predestined. We have the Tower. So something happened. But yet in the same breath, I feel like with the Tower coming under the Awakened Hangman, then I must have reflected upon this Tower. Some of you could have given this Tower, may have ended something because maybe you just feel that there's something better, right? That something wasn't right, something wasn't true, and you just want more. It's interesting because the Tower is a 16. A 6 plus 1 would be a 7, so it's like two sevens. I don't know why, but I'm not like feeling like, the Tower. I'm not feeling that. It probably already happened. I know it already happened. And I feel like that's what the Hangman in the Awakened State and the Fool, they both know that, understand that, and maybe even gave this Tower. Um, I'm just going to say I also feel the energy of past lives, like where something may not have worked out in a previous lifetime, and this may be another opportunity in this lifetime. And it may have taken a while because it may have needed time. Number one, you in the awakened state, I mean, that's beautiful. That really is beautiful. And in the awakened state, we really cannot lie to ourselves. Like our truth is our truth. And then the fool feels like is putting this Tower behind them, right? And taking a leap of faith on, well, it's mirroring the Lovers. So we'll see. But the High Priestess, your intuition, I bet it's stronger than ever. Your GPS or the High Priestess is like your GPS in his lifetime. It's your guiding light. Interesting, it's connected to the star, and I'm noticing the light around the star. So this is like you manifesting something, but I feel like purposely, like you're really trying to manifest something. And I feel like what you're doing now is kind of listening for the guidance. First of all, the Hangman in Awakened State tells me that, you've probably done a lot of shadow work. You've really come to know yourself, all parts of yourself. I feel like, you understand that you are a spiritual being having human experiences. And when we really understand that, any towers, if it happened to us, it kind of takes the sting away because it's a reminder that your spiritual being can really overcome anything. And so can you. High Priestess and number two. Hmm. Two often reminds me of soulmates. Um, and in the Seven of Pentacles, it doesn't mean there's only one pentacle that's coming to fruition. There certainly could be more than one. We have, look at that, the Page of Swords. So it's interesting I said that because in the Page of Swords, you can just look at this image. It's like she's receiving epiphany after epiphany, idea after idea. And these ideas are to help you in this physical plane, put them to use. For some of you, you may be starting down a new path and maybe you're not 100% certain, you know. Well, I feel like your spiritual team is doing their job by giving you, it almost feels like a lot of options. It's interesting because she's reading a book, and from this book, she's receiving all these epiphanies, all these ideas. And to me, it feels like you're going to find inspiration, whether it come from a book or just from, well, I feel like it can come from many different ways, maybe even a quiet mind. And I'm saying that because the high priestess, her eyes are closed. She's definitely connecting to above. And what's right above her is a star and the awakened hangman. So, I feel like this is opening up a lot of different avenues for you. Hello, wheel. Destiny. And it's mirroring the Seven of Pentacles, which I also feel is the destined energy. Interesting is coming under the full. So this new beginning definitely feels meant to be. Even if it's something old that's coming back around, it wouldn't be coming back around in the same type of energy. And what I mean by that is, sometimes we can wish for someone to come back who really didn't treat us well. And that's why the awakened hangman would be very truthful with oneself, like very honest. Maybe I've given someone a lot of time and it really didn't produce any fruit as promised. But maybe there was something I really learned from it. Because I feel like this tower has taught you. And he really is. I mean, he's looking at the lovers, but he's really looking down at the tower. So, I feel like, yes, the tower's here, but I don't really feel the power of the tower. Like, I don't feel the disruption anymore. I feel like it already happened. And I do feel like it's something that you probably have cleared, or at least on your way. I love that we have the Fool, who's all about a new beginning, is free and clear. And what I mean by that is I'm not tied to anything. I'm open. Um, and when the wheel shows, but also the tower shows, I do want to say that even these towers may have been predestined, but sometimes these towers are what helps us to move into place, right? Because especially if I've been praying about something, but one energy doesn't fit with the other, well, then one's got to go, to open up for the new. So it's not about regret, you know what I mean? Because again, the tower taught you something. The tower may have ended something, but maybe it needed to end. And again, if this is anything that's coming back around, then, especially if it's a person, then they would also be in different energy. And if not, you would recognize it immediately. All right. We have the Death card. Card of Scorpio. Literally says on here death slash rebirth. And that's what it is transformation. It's a closing of one cycle and the opening of another. You know, the Death card does signify a closing of a door, but it is a promise of a new door opening, especially coming under the Seven of Pentacles. So, one thing ends, but another thing begins. Look at this, Ten of Swords under the Tower. Some of you could have been in a repeat pattern with someone. You know, because the Ten of Swords is really you taking dagger after dagger in your back. You can talk about bad communication, you know, like arguing, fighting. But again, it feels you take the brunt of it. I kind of feel if this has anything to do with love, then this kind of does feel like a repeat pattern. But I feel like you're aware of that now. You're aware of that. And I don't feel like you want to take any more swords in your back. Why would you? So, again, if it's old coming back, well, they better also be in the awakened state. Because if they're not, then I worry about a repeat. I shouldn't say that because I feel like because you're in the awakened state, I don't feel you would allow it. I just don't feel like you would allow it. You know, interesting is coming next to the death card though. So for some, you know, sometimes we get, what do I want to say? You know, we want what we want, but that doesn't always mean it's good for us. And our spiritual team knows that, but we may not know that. You know, our humanness may not know that. But again, because your spirituality is really on fire, your intuition's on fire also, then, you know, I want to say don't regret again because you have learned. And it doesn't even have to be a person, it's just something that repeated itself over and over again. And I feel like one of the main things in the Ten of Swords is I have to recognize that pattern and then I got to break that pattern. Or it'll just be a repeat pattern again. You know, normally in the Ten of Swords, you'll see someone laying, usually face down with 10 daggers in their back. Well, really all over their body. Sometimes you'll see it face up. And that is already, you know, it's expecting another dagger. And therefore another dagger shows. We have to remember we can manifest good and bad, light and dark. And if we are trying to manifest this back, we need to ask ourselves why. Why am I hung up on it? What keeps pulling me back to it? You know, I don't have any energy of like temptation. What I really have is energy of new. So the Tower and the Ten of Swords kind of feel like they no longer fit. Not with my new energy. By the way, just so you guys know, when I say I or me, it's because I am you. And even though I am a Virgo, I'm still allowing myself to be you. You know, pick up your energy. All right, let's keep going. We have the Queen of Pentacles, my little psychic detective. Interesting that both the high priestess and the queen have their eyes closed. It's like they're both connecting to above. If you look at just her headwear, she's got like branches coming out of it. And to me, it's wisdom, but it feels like wisdom of above. It definitely makes me feel like that for many of you, this has not been your first time um, on Earth, let's say, because I feel that wisdom and using this wisdom as you're meant to, like not being, you're like using this wisdom. And I feel like the Page of Swords goes perfect with that because, again, epiphany after epiphany. And I feel like it's your quiet mind that's allowing you to pick up on these signs. And then whatever you want to do with them. And then, well, hello, Two of Wands. So this is you taking a step forward. It's matching the Fool's energy, so to speak. This is not a fear-based energy. Doesn't necessarily mean I have zero fear, because some people just have a hard time with change. Like I'd rather stay in a situation because change scares me that much. That may be something you want to look at because I feel like we do have to learn to roll with it, so to speak. But to me, this is someone who's excited for their future, whatever it may hold. Just like the fool. The fool's not thinking like, okay, I'm going to start this new adventure, but I want to know before I even begin where it's going to take me. Because your spiritual team would say, my dear, it's all about the journey, not the ultimate destination. And because there's free will and your seeds of intention are really what creates that ultimate destiny. Just taking a step forward. Some of you coming into this Page of Swords, I feel like it's you trusting more and more in your voice, also trusting more and more in the epiphanies, the ideas that you're receiving, and maybe putting them to use. Often feel the Queen of Pentacles. Like Queen of Pentacles, I call my psychic detective. And I say this all the time, but I feel it. Like if I had a contract, like a confusing contract, she's the one I'd want to look it over because her specialty is picking up on those details that other people miss. And that's you, Virgo. The ability to pick up those details that other people just kind of skim over. Like no. And also connected to your intuition. I mean, I feel like you guys have come so far. Okay. And I even love this image. It's interesting because this wand is against the wall. And I'm wondering if it belonged to someone else. Because she's only holding one wand. So she's thinking about her future. Now, maybe that wand is signifying the lovers. But right now, I feel like it's really me, you, thinking about your future. She got a globe, she got a map, she got her little VW bus. That's interesting because when I was a teenager, we had a Volkswagen bus. Funny, I said it. Maybe someone's going back home. I don't really have a lot of energy of movement other than stepping into something. But again, the fool's looking right at the star, so I feel like there should be nothing to fear here. And if there is fear, I feel like what we need to do is learn to walk through that fear. Because a lot of times that what we fear. Let me use an example. When Sam reached out to me, um, called me 40 years after when we were initially together, I did have fear. And it took me 5 years. And that seems ridiculous, but it took me 5 years to make that ultimate decision of moving here. And the fears that I had were really quite silly. Like I didn't want to have to wear makeup every day. I'm not the type that gets up and does their hair every day. And you know what I mean? I'm not a girly girl. It's not that I don't want to look good for Sam. It's just that I know me. So those little things kind of held me in place. And those fears that I had, none of them manifested. So when I actually did move here, there was nothing of my fears that manifested. But I'm not going to, I don't regret that either. Um, because we really got to know each other again. Because we knew each other as teenagers, not really as adults. So we got to know each other as adults. Now, when I tell my personal stories, I tell them because I feel like someone will understand, like someone will be like, oh, I get it. Or someone's thinking like I was thinking. All right, we have the Three of Cups and then the Ace of Swords. Mm. So, interesting. The wheel brings out the Three of Cups, which is about rejoicing and celebration. That's the message of the card. It's the energy of joy. So it feels like very quickly, we have the Fool, a new beginning. The Two of Wands really is about a new beginning. But the wheel is what's moving this energy. And I feel like, and you're allowing it. And the wheel is, maybe helping to ease your mind by saying there is nothing to fear. This is really meant, like what's coming next is meant to really bring joy to your heart. And then the Ace of Swords, well, that number one is your truth. It's the truth. Certainly be communication. Like ring ring. How you been? We'll keep it over here. But it's also connected to the wheel. Interesting that she also has her eyes closed. Like I'm trying to manifest a call. Some type of communication. She's on the bottom of the deck. Hmm. All right. Well, I'm glad it's on the bottom of the deck. The Nine of Swords. So there's that fear I was talking about that I carried because this is about unnecessary fear. But it is fear nonetheless. This energy of the Nine of Swords can certainly get in our way. It can certainly stop us from doing, well, I feel like there's a lot of different things coming your way. Now, because it's on the bottom, it makes me happy. Again, it's a nine. We're in a universal year nine. So if you do carry this worry, ask yourself why. Again, with the hangman in the awakened state, I feel like the majority of you have overcome this energy. She was below it, the Knight of Swords. It's almost like this knight ran off. Some of you, maybe that did happen. And again, if this is talking about love, I could see, I get it, like being a little fearful, right? Like, how do I know the next person won't do the same as the last? Well, because you're different, because your energy has evolved, because you can read energy now. So those who want to put daggers in your back, want to, you know, break things off, run away, and then come back and run away and come back. You're different. You're not accepting it. I have a feeling they probably didn't change, especially because we have the nine of swords on the bottom of the deck, but we have the ten of swords on the board. So I feel like for some of you, there could be someone who just not is, I'm saying someone, it could also be a situation where it just does seem like it just keeps resulting in a tower. But I don't feel like it, I don't feel like this is what you're meant to be in any longer. Like, I don't feel like you're meant to be in a fear based energy. If anything, I feel like this is about you flowing with the energy now. Because again, when the hangman's in the awakened state, and anything or anyone or any situation that's offered to you in this energy, especially at the high priestess right here, also. Like, I feel like you very quickly understand, you very quickly can read the energy of it. You know if it's going to be good or it's not. I feel like you also know, because again, if you're in the awakened state, then you understand that your intentions are like nine tenths of the law. And if it's relating to love, and you have evolved, you yourself have evolved, which I do feel that, then any lower vibrational energy, I feel like very quickly you're going to let go of. Kind of reminds me of the Empress. Um, and I say that because the Empress is the one energy that I know. She knows, she knows her own wealth or her own wealth, her own worth. Well, could even be in her wealth, like. Okay, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's go deeper. Deeper if we dare. Oh, let me give him a shuffle. Give him a cut. And we're going to start at the beginning, but we are going to read it as a whole. Oh my God. Look at this. We now have two people, both in the awakened state. What energy are these two awakened people sharing? The Lovers and the Seven of Pentacles. Wow. Now, I want to say, if this has anything to do with someone coming back into your life, and I also want to remind you, I do feel a little bit of past lives. And I don't want to leave that off the table because I do feel that for someone. It's almost like we couldn't figure it out in a last lifetime. We couldn't find our way back to each other or something like that. But in this lifetime, Well, it feels like you're being guided. But how interesting, because that takes away that Nine of Swords, that takes away the Ten of Swords, the Tower, all of that. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means that, let's say this is, well, first of all, it's not the person in the Ten of Swords. There's no way. I'm not going to say that someone couldn't have evolved. They certainly could have, but I don't feel it's that same person. I feel like that's what the Tower is about. Whether I decided to cut that person out of my life or they chose to cut me out of their life. And if they chose to cut you out of your life, I know it hurt. But what I want to tell you is, you know, it's because your spiritual team, they want you to live this life. I feel like at this point, anything coming into your life is really meant to enhance your life because I feel like you really deserve it. But man, do I love that the awakened hangman, we have two now, and they are sharing the energy of the lovers, but also the Seven of Pentacles, really your seeds of intention. Remember how I said I felt like certain seeds? Maybe I didn't say it in this reading, but in the Seven of Pentacles, I do feel like certain seeds are planted before we came into this lifetime. And this just may be the time. And I also want to say, because this queen is really representing wisdom, it is wisdom over the Ten of Swords and the Tower. She's listening to her intuition now, without doubt. Wow. I mean, thank you, Spirit Guides. We have the Page of Wands, my little risk taker, even after the Tower. I call the Page of Wands a risk taker because I do feel like part of this page is, and I do feel like this is you, but I feel like part of what the page learns is, it's someone who's fallen down, it gets back up again. You know, like I don't allow things in life to hold me in place. If it doesn't feel right, then I'm on to the next. Could also talk about younger energy. He's looking right at the awakened hangman. Um, Wands can represent Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Though I kind of don't want to put a sign to it because I don't want you to think, well, if you're not one of them, then you can't be my person. I also, um, I hate to say predicted, but I felt, and my guides really made me feel that there was going to be a lot of spiritual awakenings this year. A lot. Even those who can't put a name to it. Like things are going to feel different. There's going to be this push. And maybe not everyone is going to awaken. Some people are more than happy to live in a lower vibrational energy, and that is their choice. It may be what they chose, but there's no way you are. There's no way. Ace of Swords. It's like you are manifesting this. Four of Cups. Okay. So, let's talk about the Four of Cups for a second. First of all, I want to say with this Ace of Swords, that's connected to the Awakened Hangman and your wishes, your dreams, and about manifesting them. The High Priestess, it's like your intuition truly is on fire. And then also this Queen, again, being in this meditative state, but using that wisdom, it almost feels again like of a past life, but also this lifetime's wisdom. Definitely feels like she has gone through this Ten of Swords, but now it feels like her energy is different. She feels calm. She feels relaxed. She feels very open. She's holding a big pentacle in her hand. So I don't want to make this just love because I feel like in the Page of Swords, by the way, I just realized we have two pages. But it's very clear this page, again, is receiving all these epiphanies. Remember how I said I felt like in the Seven of Pentacles, I didn't feel like it was just one seed. I feel like some of you may just be beginning, but I feel like you may be on a path of, first of all, I feel like the healing, like a natural healer. But I do feel the energy of like doctor, heal thyself first. You know what I mean? Because I feel the clearer your energy, the more opportunities are going to come your way, and you may be making some decisions. But listen, it's like choosing between great and greater. All right, but anyway, so we have the Four of Cups coming over this Page of Swords. Four of Cups really talks about discontentment and boredom in one's life, but it's of an emotional situation because I feel like everything else feels like it's just right on track. But listen, maybe emotionally, I had hoped for more, not happy on an emotional level. And I don't feel like Virgo needs to have love in their life. I feel like Virgo can. It's not that we don't ever get lonely, that type of energy, but I feel like we can keep ourselves busy. Sometimes during that alone time is when we have those greatest epiphanies. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about all that because in the Four of Cups, there is a cup coming in. Here it comes. You're looking right at it. These cups down here represent what was, what really didn't satisfy you anyway. This is coming from the hand of divine, hand of God. And literally, that's what Mother Mary says. I know that God, in his infinite wisdom and love, is answering my prayers right now. So here comes this cup. This asks you to use your spiritual discernment relating to whether you accept this cup or not. You're not happy on an emotional level. Or I shouldn't say, because some of you may feel like, no, I'm fine. But it does feel like something's missing. Or yes, maybe I am happy with this here. Some of you, I know you're taking these new paths that are epiphany field, which means they'll just keep producing fruit. But we do have the lovers, you know. And now I'm noticing that the star is also connected to that. So I feel like my Virgos are putting a few wishes out there. And I feel like they're coming back to you. And why shouldn't they? Because of the energy you are now in. I feel like, yes, this cup is coming in, and it does feel like the Ace of Cups, which really represents unconditional love. Because I don't feel like you're interested in any lower vibrational love. Like, been there, done that. Don't, and especially if you realize you were in a repeat pattern with someone that just kept breaking your heart. I don't feel like, well, I know you don't want to repeat it. And I'm hoping you found the closure that you needed. Sometimes we don't get that closure. Sometimes people just disappear. But what I want you to do is really think about that. Because if that is your situation, why am I giving them any of my heart? They don't deserve it. Someone does. The Six of Swords. Wow. Hello, moving on. Six of Swords, you got to look back one card, understand what you're moving on from, and that is toxicity. And I could not be happier. That is that Ten of Swords. That is that Nine of Swords. That is that Tower. The Six of Swords, it is temporarily, or it can feel temporarily like difficult energy. And I feel like if it feels difficult, it's just because I may be someone who is uncomfortable with changes. But here you are making it anyway. And I feel like I could not be prouder, especially coming over the wheel. It's like you are feeling this energy. Maybe you're not sure where it's going to take you. Let me tell you though, in the Six of Swords, it really is the promise. Because you were bold enough, really, to dissect those swords and say enough is enough. It is the promise of moving to really beautiful, calm waters. Right now, you may be in a little bit of choppy waters, but I'm telling you, it's temporary. And be very proud of yourself because I feel very proud of you. It's like no more, no more, no more. All right, let's keep going. High Priestess again, over the Death card. Another page, Page of Cups. Page of Cups is coming over the Ten of Swords, and I'll tell you what I feel immediately. And it can mean multiple things at the same time. The first thing I feel it's talking about is the pain that you felt within your inner child. And when love doesn't go right, that's usually where it goes into our inner child. And it feels like this is you healing that inner child. You know, you there is a need, there is a need to put yourself first. But I don't mean that in an egotistical way. I mean that in a loving way, right? Like I've got to learn to love myself. And by loving myself, it means that I've got to learn that I deserve better than I've been allowing. Now, I know that's not everyone, but I definitely feel that was part of the healing process. And this page, it's interesting because this page is looking back at the Awakened Hangman. This page is looking forward, like towards the future. We have the Five of Pentacles. So maybe you didn't cause the tower. Maybe someone else caused the tower. Five of Pentacles, it signifies something that happened outside of our control. It is also temporarily difficult energy. But here's what I feel about the Five of Pentacles. I feel like, with the hardship, there's also a blessing on the other side. And I feel like what this is moving you towards is really soulmate energy. And what I mean by that is like minded energy. Like maybe through your work, you start to find these spiritually awoken people and it just feels right. Some of you could be meeting people who, like someone who becomes your very best friend. It's like you've known each other forever, and you have. You just don't know that yet. So it is a change. It doesn't seem to be affecting the queen who this energy's coming over. It just doesn't seem to be affecting her anymore. Another five of cups. It's coming over the two of wands. And then we have the six of wands, which is about victory and success. Two sixes connected by the wheel. The ace of swords, but also a reason to celebrate. Six of wands, victory, is mirrored by the high priestess. Again, your intuition, your higher self. And I definitely see you connecting to your higher self energy. And I get this feeling you're trusting in it more and more every day. We have the Four of Cups, which is discontentment within an emotional, maybe in my emotional life. And then it brings out the Five of Cups. So, Five of Cups wants you to ask you, every five talks about some type of change. So, this energy asks you to ask yourself, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the past? Are you focusing on the cups that have been knocked over? Which is normal, right? But I feel like time has gone by because I feel like the changes that these fives are asking for, I kind of feel the majority of you already have made these changes. And the promise within the Five of Cups is when I'm not focusing on what I have lost, there's two cups behind this person. They don't know that. And maybe they're not meant to know it because maybe by simply not focusing on the past and what didn't go right, the danger with this card is it can go into the woe is me energy, where we feel sorry for ourselves. And even though we have every right to feel sorry, it won't serve you. It won't help you move forward. It's almost like you have to just believe that there's still love that exists. I do feel like the cups that have been knocked over go right back to the tower and the Ten of Swords. So sometimes we're crying over things or people who just don't deserve our respect, our time. And I'm not putting them down. It's because I feel like you are evolving. Don't get pulled back. You know what I mean? Like, don't get, like, let's say this is someone of the past, but they haven't changed. Don't lower your vibration to be with someone. If they want to be with you, then make it a must that they raise their vibration. And that can mean many different things. Let's say that it's someone who likes to party a lot, but you don't. Well, those two lifestyles kind of don't fit together. You know what I mean? So you may say, like, I don't want you going out partying. Like, I don't think you should be out in the bar without me type of energy. And they're like, well, that's what I like. That's what I'm going to do. And they just completely dismiss what you say. What you going to do? We can't fix everyone. We can't make people change. And by the way, like I say this, I've said it. I don't think I've said it to Sam, but I have said, like, the day that I no longer, like if I was with someone whose actions were a little hairy, then I would say to them, the day that I no longer question you is the day that I'm leaving. Now, I didn't mean that in a jealous way. I don't know if that came across right. But anyways, this is the promise of two cups. You know, over here we have two lovers in the awakened state. And then we have victory and success. By the way, I don't want to um overlook this energy either, because I do feel like for some of you, again, it's like your guides are giving you ideas and epiphanies. It's like some of you are like spiritually downloading, and this is the energy, this is the perfect energy for those who have healing abilities. And it doesn't have to mean like hands on type of thing. It can mean many different things. It just means you're using your wisdom, right? That's a sense of spirituality and helping others. This is really where other people are seeking you out, but they're seeking you out because of action steps that you've taken. Like, how did you get out of that? How did you end the energy of the Ten of Swords? Well, have a seat, my dear, and let me tell you, wasn't easy. Temporarily, it was a little difficult, but I just kept looking forward. I didn't look back. And then I find myself in this new life. Maybe I'd wished for, but I don't feel like you expected it. I feel like with the Ace of Swords right above that, your voice, using your voice, and again, it feels like in a spiritual way, but on this earthly plane, you know, I feel like you are helping others. And I feel like, it's just like when I do tarot. Yes, I do need money, right? I do have to pay bills and all that, but I do it mainly because it brings me satisfaction to bring you satisfaction. Though I won't skip over lessons to make something look better. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to see the truth for what the truth is. Okay. I feel like I want to go below. I don't feel like I'm done yet. We have the Four of Pentacles. To me, that is about your foundation, and it's mirroring the lovers. So to me, because both lovers are in the awakened state, that does signify a very strong foundation. And I do think it's important that, if we're going to allow ourselves to be in any type of relationship, that we do build that foundation first and foremost. Because if we start with a weak foundation, then anything can knock us off. But because it's strong and spirituality is definitely a big part of it, I feel like this is you becoming, I don't know, like, what's the word I want to use? Like, I feel like it's just going to be impossible to knock you off your foundation now. So for anyone who tries, it's like good luck. I just don't feel like it could happen. Now, the Four of Pentacles can also talk about being somewhat resistant, like to other people's ideas and that, but I'm not feeling that. All right. Three cups again. Now I feel like this is saying celebrate yourself. Celebrate how far you have come. Don't leave yourself out of this equation. You know, a lot of these things that are coming to fruition would have never come to fruition without you doing this, going through these experiences, but coming out the other end with wisdom. It doesn't mean you know everything. We're never going to know everything. Once we cross over, then we'll know everything. That's part of, the human experience is learning how to move forward even though we don't know. All right, we have the Queen of Cups. But look what she's holding in her hand. There's that cup. So I feel like this is you. I almost feel like I don't have to worry about you as it relates to your money because I feel like you're finding your way. And for those who are starting, in on a new direction, on new paths, really trust yourself, trust your intuition. I don't feel like it'll lead you astray. But now I feel like we're talking about your emotional house. So here is this queen holding the cup that was offered in the Four Cups. And it's coming after what someone else put you through. And it's coming right next to the Three Cups. So again, joy. Beautiful. The Three of Wands. This, my friend, is optimism. This is doing exactly what Spirit is asking the foal to do. Be in the present moment. This is someone who has planted seeds, but is letting go of exactly how they must show and just trusting. Again, Father Mary, trust. I trust that my ships will come in when they're meant to come in. This really feels like, it kind of feels like a change of energy. This is being excited for the potential of what lies out there. Right over that Two of Wands. And then the moon. The moon. So, the moon, first of all, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. But it can talk about uncertainties. But maybe we're not meant to know because it's about the journey. But this also represents very dreamy type energy. I could definitely see, because we have two aces of swords, two awakened hangmans. And I feel like there's other synchronicities somewhere in here. Well, the Page of Wands, I would also call my foal. So I feel like this is more about the dreaminess of it. Hmm. Okay. Couple things I want to look at. And then I do feel like we need to bring out the romance angels. I just want to look at the moon a little deeper. It's coming over such positive energy. I feel like if anything, if it does talk about uncertainties, that could be scary for some. Five of Wands. Interesting. Why the Five of Wands? The Empress. Oh, it's kind of like this is what the Empress has overcome. So the Five of Wands, five, change, right? That's drama filled. This is a lot of fighting. I felt that with the Ten of Swords, bad communication. I often feel in the Five of Wands, like if I'm waiting for someone to admit to me that they're wrong, they're not going to do it because it's coming from the ego, and I don't feel like anybody backs down here. I feel like there's really only one solution, and that is to remove myself from it. Like, don't get stuck in the webs of drama. But the Empress knows that. You know, it's kind of beautiful that the Empress came out right now, because she will take all this creative energy and she will create one hell of a life for herself. She has got the wisdom of all the queens. That's why I felt the wisdom in this queen who does represent you, right? That wisdom, but it's not just of this lifetime. It feels like maybe many lifetimes, maybe five lifetimes. This is someone who, she's powerful, but she's powerful in a very loving and nurturing way. She's powerful because of that wisdom and she trusts it. She trusts herself. She trusts her spiritual team. You know, sometimes I feel like the Empress receives even bigger signs. No, that's not what I meant. I meant like even bigger opportunities. Why? Because she is someone who would take these epiphanies and her spiritual team, your spiritual team, knows that you'll put them to use. You'll create with them something, whatever you want. Trust me, the Empress has been through it, but she's come out the other side. She's courageous, but she's loving. She's powerful, but she's also gentle. She pulls out whatever side of herself she needs. But I tell you one thing with the Empress, there's no way she would live in the Ten of Swords energy. She probably had, because that also becomes part of her wisdom. Sometimes some of the lessons are simply learning what it is we do not want. And that allows us to know more of what we do want in all areas of our life. So I'm very, very happy to see her. She is the mother figure. Could certainly represent some of you being single. But again, I'm not feeling like if I'm single as the Empress, I could be a single mother. Um, not really feeling lack energy. Doesn't mean I'm not open. She is open. And she does deserve the best as it relates to love. Why? Because she's walked the path of all the queens. She's been through the troubles. She's much like this Page of Wands, right? She gets back up again. And she's really learned that it doesn't serve her to close her heart down. It doesn't have to mean, again, though I do feel like for some of you, your wish is for love. And I do feel like you're going to receive it. And, any of these issues that came up where it takes us to like analyze and then overcome it, and then we do overcome it, I feel like that is the perfect time. Because I don't feel like I'm still in the Ten of Swords. I don't feel like I could be in the Ten of Swords and also be in an awakened state at the same time. Because I would know the truth, right? I'd face it. This is not going to take me anywhere. It's just going to keep going around and around and around. It's not what I want. I may have thought I wanted that person, but the person's not giving me what I know I now deserve. But you have to know that. But I do feel like you do. Okay. Um, you know what? Let's go ahead and bring in the clarifying love situations. And I'm just going to take a card or two. And I'm really not taking it over anything. Just whatever wants to come out, whatever needs to come out. And then I am going to bring in the romance angels because I want to definitely look at the lovers. Silent remnants. Amid, amid the uncertainty, love has the power to rebuild trust. Okay. Hanging on. Release the past and let yourself love again. Release the past and let yourself love again. Entangled. Establish and communicate your own boundaries. Okay. I feel like I don't need to really talk about them. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to look at the lovers who are both in the awakened state, who are both sharing the Seven of Pentacles, which means they're both sharing destiny, the wheel. Let's give them a cut. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Okay. And then healing family issues. Well, let's just say if this is something that's coming back around again, I feel like the main thing you want to look for is that you're both in the same energy field. You know what I mean? Like, again, lower vibrational energy, higher vibrational energy. You feel like you are in much higher vibration energy, and I feel like it's going to be important that this person also be there. So if this is coming back around again, it's interesting because, I won't leave it off the table. All right. Heal family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Interesting. Maybe that is one of the things that one of these lovers, playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Could be why we're seeing a lot of pages, and then also the full, playful, free, unencumbered. Someone from your past is returning to your life. This kind of looks like the lovers. Actually, I'll tell you what it really looks like is the past life card in here. So Even though I don't feel anyone from the past returning, I'm not going to leave it off the table. But what I will say, again, I think I already said this, is make sure that their energy has changed. Though for some of you, I do feel like this is past lives. And I do feel like something in a past life wasn't finished. And this is the opportunity to finish it. Well, to come together. Let's put it that way. All right. I'm going to do one more time around. See if anything else wants to come in or come out or in. Heart to heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. Wow. It is a romance of a lifetime if both these lovers are in this very spiritual energy. It doesn't mean I go around talking in spiritual terms all the time. It just means I know what I know what I know. Maybe I don't even know how I know, but I know it. It's you trusting in your spiritual team's energy. This is a romance of a lifetime. This is true love. So I feel this in a few different ways. I can't leave it off the table that there may be someone coming back from this lifetime. But boy, if they are, I pray that they're in the awakened state just like you. And if they're not, I pray that you can feel the difference. Because sometimes people of the past who treated us like shit but don't want to see us happy with someone else can certainly make a repeat appearance. And I don't think I have to worry a lot here because I feel like because we have the Empress, because we have the Hangman in the awakened state, even Mother Mary saying trust, right? Trust. I feel like however it happens, it is true love. I don't know how it couldn't be true love, but I just want to say stay true to your energy. Don't lower your vibration to be with another. I don't feel like you're going to have to. I know in the true love energy you don't have to. But if anyone comes back from this lifetime who has hurt you what feels like pretty badly, understand that could also be like a little bit of a test. Like that final push does she really mean she's done? Does he really mean he's done? Because we do have that 5 of Cups. We do have this discontentment. And the only thing I worry in that energy is, am I being really honest with myself? And if you are, you are. So, what an abundant reading, Virgo. Number one, I feel like your spiritual team is really taking notice in what you've been doing in your own life and how you yourself have been evolving. I feel like these new adventures, they're on their way. And yes, I do feel like one is love, but I feel there are more than one seed that's coming to fruition. This is about taking chances on you, taking chances on things that you want to bring to the world, things that you've already brought to the world. This feels like it just gets more and more abundant. And maybe money is part of it, but I feel like this sense of comfort. I feel like this sense of knowing, this sense of truly being able to follow my intuition without doubt. because your guides are like over and over. Well, they're so involved in your life, but they can't cross certain boundaries. Remember that. They can't cross your free will boundaries. Now they can make things feel very uncomfortable, resistance to the point where then you do make a change, or at least that's what they hope. I feel like the main message is let's all step into the fool's energy. Let's all get excited about the potential of what the future holds. Let's make sure that we're planting those seeds, those seeds of intention, and then trusting. And what that means is letting go of exactly how it must show, because it'll probably surprise you anyway. You have a lot of growth in this reading, and it feels like this destined time is open up. I feel like it's because of you. And I don't know. I just hope you're very proud of yourself. I know not everyone is in the same place. I know that. I know some may still be stuck in that Ten of Swords. But this is to help you understand that. You know what I mean? I feel like the main message is there's nothing wrong with loving yourself first. The Empress knows that. If I don't take care of me, then how do I take care of anybody else? And you are the Empress. You carry that energy. It's just about bringing it to the forefront. What a reading, Virgo. What a reading. Of course, I always love doing your readings, and it has nothing to do about me. Though I certainly, every reading I do, because, even if you are spiritually inclined, doesn't mean your life is perfect. Doesn't mean I don't need advice, right? So I definitely pay attention to readings. And I do notice where it's talking to me, talking to you. But I also feel that a lot of us are like minded. We're one big soul family. And that's why I feel like a lot of us really understand. So, and that's what I love the comment section for, because those who are still in that Ten of Swords and may feel it's impossible for me to enter into this energy, it's not impossible. Yes, it does take some human action, and it may be temporarily difficult, but that is temporary. I promise you, it's temporary. Trust in you, trust in your abilities, trust in universal energy, trust in destiny. There's no way these lovers aren't destined to be together. No way. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I always love doing your reading. And again, it's not because I'm a Virgo. It's because your readings are always, you know, intertwined with all types of energy. Interesting. It just got so dark in my room. Oh, now it just got light. What's done in the dark will come to the light. Anyways, I thank you guys. I love you guys. I want to remind you, if you haven't watched any of the other readings, um, like a lot of what I wear has been gifted to me, and I want to now give you guys some things. This is really why I say yes to a lot of these promotions that are offered to me, and I turn a lot down. I only accept things that I think that you would like. So now what I'm going to do is I figure out how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to wait till I get all the signs out, and then I'm going to do a reading called Trust Your Intuition. This is a series I did years ago that I loved, but it didn't go very far on YouTube, I'll be honest, but I loved it. Um, and what I'll do is I'll have 5 cards, you know, like 5 cards. Let me just show you. So, like 5 cards, One, two, three, four, five. But then I'll have the middle one turned around, face down, and we'll do a little read. I won't make it long. It'll be like 10 to 20 minutes. And then you can comment on what you think that card will be, what that card is. I won't reveal the card, like even to myself. Um, I'll do it in another video. And in that time, I'll take what I'm going to do is all the comments. I'm just going to put all your names in a bowl. And I have quite a few things. I have tarot cards. I got beautiful pajamas. I have a lot of jewelry. Um, I have twinkling moon type of thing. I have a lot of different things. So, um, and then I think what I'll do is I'll let you guys choose, then I'll cross it off my list as we go. So that's my plan anyway. Um, so the reason why I'm telling you this is because, it shows me on my statistics that like 19% have their bell, which is right beside subscribe, rung 100%. And that means 100% means you get all the notifications. When it's not rung 100%, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't, or sometimes you hardly ever get them. Um, but if you feel like you get them, then you don't have to worry about that. I'm only saying that because I already feel that some people are going to feel left out. And that's why I want to make sure that you get that notification so you have an opportunity. I definitely want to bless you. You've been blessing me all these years. I feel honored to be able to do even, something a little for you. So, anyways, that's what's going to happen. And we're going to let it be. I love you. I thank you. And thank you for those who I already know are going to write comments to help those who are still kind of stuck. I feel like we are natural healers. And the more we use it, I feel like the clearer it becomes. It's like when you use your intuition, you really hone it in. Your intuition is like a muscle. So we want that muscle strong. And with the Awakened Hangman, I feel like it's pretty strong. I feel so proud of you guys. I really do. All right, I'm going to let that be. I love you. I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.